Welcome, Reverend Penny Honey here at Unity of Flagstaff. Thank you again for sharing this time with us here on our YouTube channel, youtube.unityofflagstaff.org. So thanks for checking in. Be sure and share and comment and all of those wonderful ways that give us the opportunity to connect. So thank you for that. We will now enjoy the music of Trina Goetz. We've been missing her music a little. She's been a busy gal teaching those kids. So today we are blessed again with Trina singing I Am a Channel. Enjoy.
I am a channel for your love. I am a channel. I am a channel for your love. And I am love. I am a channel for your peace. I am a channel. A channel for your peace, and I am peace. I am a channel for your truth. I am a channel. I am a channel for your truth, and I am true.
Thank you, Trina, again and again and again for your gifts. We appreciate you. You are a light in this ministry. And anyone that is interested in contributing to these Sunday services, you just email me at office@unityofflagstaff.org, and we'll talk about that. The more the merrier. So my friends, www.unityofflagstaff.org, you can find more information out, of course, about the ministry, the events that are coming up, the things that we are involved in. Our latest new project in our Helping Hands team is our Flagstaff Family Food Center. So you'll find more information about that on the website, of course. Be sure and open your newsletter. There's a little video in there that helps you through where we're going next as we support Flagstaff, as we undertake our drive of Feed Flagstaff. You can drop off canned goods here at the facility, 1800 South Milton, of course, Suite 103, between 9 a.m. and 10 p.m. So we appreciate that. Let's settle in now for that meditation and that music. We just take a deep breath and we've taken in information. We're grateful for it. And now we let it fall. And we start to move into music and meditation. Won't you rest in and enjoy?
Take this moment to shift your attention to your heart. Take a few deep and cleansing breaths. As your mind calms and stills, ask yourself this question: how do I live from the truth of my being moment by moment? Sometimes you need time away from the outer world to go within and reawaken to your truth. As you turn within, it's easy to allow the truth into your awareness. Repeat this affirmation silently to yourself as you continue to breathe deep and slow. I am a dynamic expression of God on the quest to know and reveal more of my true self. From this awareness, let go of stress, let go of anxiety, let go of thoughts of inadequacy or unworthiness. Right here, right now, in this moment, the expression of God that you are is enough. No matter what is going on in the outer world of your life, you are enough. You are on the quest to your true self. It is a spiritual journey that reveals more and more beauty, joy, fulfillment, and freedom to you each step of the way. This is your true nature, to be a dynamic expression of God. As you gently and easily bring your attention back to the world around you, you remember the truth of your being. I am a dynamic expression of God on the quest to know and reveal more of my true self. And you remember that silent unity is always here for you.
So, I hope that that meditation has set you in a place of peace and ease, because that is our intention, and it is our divine knowing that we're one with the divine mind of God, and that is a place of peace. So it is my prayer that that is what you have found in this time so far. You know, we hear so much about speaking truth to power. And I was sitting with that one day. Actually, that's not true. I was sweeping the patio one day. And the thought dropped in. Shouldn't we be speaking power to truth? What if we did that? Because I got to tell you, the track record for speaking truth to power hasn't been very impressive. When we talk about truth to power, the Quakers actually came up with that term in 1955 because they are a people of peace. And they believed if they started to speak truth to the people that were in power, that we would see a significant change, and we would start making policy, and we would start doing things differently. And I'm not saying that they didn't make some impact. However, in today's environment, I invite you into breathing into the concept of speaking power into truth. What if we started to put our energy and our consciousness and our knowing into truth? What if we started realizing and claiming the power that we hold within as divine children of God to speak power into truth? What would it look like? What would it start to be on our planet? And I'm not just talking about in today's environment, although wouldn't it be a fine thing to imagine? But how do we know what is truth? How do we know that what we're speaking into is truth? Well, that's about a $2.3 billion question. That's how much has been spent in the first 15 months of this presidential election. Just in the first 15 months, $2.3 billion question it is. How do we know what is truth? And it's not just in the political arena that we have to ask that question. You would think with $2.3 billion, we would have some sense of truth around where we are in our political environment, wouldn't you? I got to tell you, I'd want my money back if I'd spent $2.3 billion. Because I don't know that people know truth in this environment right now. I don't know that I do. And I'm not saying that there hasn't been some truth shared in this time. I'm not saying that. But you know, Galileo had something similar to say about truth. He said, it's how it shifts. He said that when his theory that we in the church were not the center of the universe, he wasn't very popular, if you remember, they threw him in jail. He talked about truth, and he said this. When he offered up his explanation that in fact the sun was the center, he said, see now the power of truth, the same experiment which at first glance seemed to show one thing, when more carefully examined, assures us of the contrary. And so the truths, even about the physical universe, are ever changing. We know that the universe is expanding. We know that there are billions of stars out there that are going out and coming in and going out and coming in, and some are headed for the planet, and the physical universe is ever changing. So even the things that we had held dear as truth about our physical universe were proven to not be. When Galileo looked into the vast infinite space, could it be said with certainty that it couldn't have been a truth, whatever theory there was or is, because the vast and infinite are ever changing. Our universe physically is changing. Now that's not very helpful when we're trying to identify truth, because if nothing's stable, how do we get to a place of truth? How do we do that? So I'm offering you this. Try this on as you come into a place of deciphering truth. And this is from the Revealing Word, of course, written by one of our Unity co-founders, Charles Fillmore. In the Revealing Word, this is what he says about truth. Truth, of course, is not the same yesterday and today and yea forever. Truth gets to be permanent. It stays the same yesterday, today, and yea forever. If something shifts, if something changes, we have to stop and examine whether that was a truth or not. What seems new is but the unveiling of that which has always been. Now we're getting to what truth is. The never changing. Truth abides in fullness at the core of the very being of humans. What seems new is but the unveiling of that which has always been. That is truth. So let's look at some things that have long been held up as truth. We have even built democracies on these things that were called truth. And I remind you as we go through this list, as Galileo told us, the same experiment which at first glance seemed to show one thing, when more carefully examined, assures us of the contrary. Women are less than. Children are to be seen and not heard. African Americans, or anyone that doesn't look like me, are not equal. The mentally and physically differently abled are a burden to our society. These are things that should have, and that these are people, there are people that should have and people that are not eligible. These are things that we held as truths. But they're ever changing. And as Fillmore tells us, as we expand our consciousness, our awareness ever expanding, we then can start to discern and decipher the things that are permanent and real and true from those that are ever changing. As our consciousness expanded, we realized that our great country and the founders of it innately knew. They knew that those weren't truths because what they said was, all men are created equal. And as our consciousness expanded, that expanded into all humankind is created equal. Now we're getting to truth. Now we realize with the expansion of our consciousness, we can let those thoughts go in so many others that we have held on to and believed, even if we weren't conscious of the fact that we were believing them. They have been integrated and have become a part of who we are by default. It is time to speak power into truth so that we can let those kind of things go and expand our consciousness so that we can open to the greater truth. And the greater truth is that we are all divine children of God. And as our unity principles tell us that we are of the essence of God, and there is no clause there that says that means not you, or not you, or not you. It doesn't say that. Our founders built this truth into our country, even though some of them, most of them, were fully unaware of their own behaviors that did not align with the innate truth that they founded democracy on. We arrived whole. We are divine by nature. And somewhere along the way, when we created a constitution, it got clear to them at an innate level that we arrived whole, that we are divine. That means all. That means all of us. And that's a truth. We are whole. We are expressions of the divine, of the essence of God. And we see more and more as we see discontent on this planet right now, that people are stepping into and realizing that equality is truth. Because it's never changing. It always means that we're equal. And some days that's a stretch. It's a stretch for me. There are some days that it's very difficult. It's very hard for me to imagine that the same divinity resides within each of us. And it does. And that is a truth. Okay. Now, that which has always been is a truth. Now, our expression of it has been a little questionable from time to time, not only in this country, but on the planet as a whole. And as with truth, truth is a process, and we are certainly feeling a lot of process these days. If you still struggle with trusting your innate wisdom and discerning the truth, as a fair and just-minded individual, if you find peace and the expression, the creed or the proclamation does no harm, that's a truth. That's a truth for you. And if you still struggle, perhaps this will be helpful. Since we choose to see the world as a friendly place, as we are choosing that, right? We are choosing that, right? The world is a friendly place, and God is still greater than whatever is going on around us. Since we see the world as a friendly place, and based on experience, the universe is ever conspiring to bring us to our highest and greatest expression. So you can rest assured that if you find something that you believe is a truth, and that it is never changing for you, and that you can declare it with absolute surety, and you find out later on that maybe it wasn't as truth as you thought it was, it's okay. God's got your back. Because the universe is ever conspiring, will balance that out. And that, my friends, is what I believe is happening now. The universe is balancing out this awareness as we step into real truth and we start to speak power to that. So let's imagine for just a moment if each person were just on that concept, on that truth, that all humankind is created equal and shall be treated accordingly. What if, as we're seeing now, what if we started to speak power to that which is unchanging? Truth, because we are the essence of God made in the image and likeness. Perhaps something we will start to find is courage, where we start to speak the truth even if our voices shake, even if it's scary, even if it means someone that we hold dear and that we love is in disagreement with us and we with them. Because we know it is truth, and even when our voices shake, we can still move through it. We can still claim that essence of God within ourselves and within them. And so if we're going to speak power into truth, what is power? We're talking about power, the power to overturn, the power to overrun, the power to win, the power to be bigger and stronger than you. No, folks, that's force. As David Hawkins tells us in his book, Power versus Force, power serves others, whereas force is self-serving. Power serves others, whereas force is self-serving. The Revealing Word again, by Charles Fillmore. What he says, basically, and he has a lot of words. You know, Charles likes to use a lot of words. So when I took his, definition of power, it says this: man's innate control over his thoughts and feelings. A quickening from on high must precede his realization of dominion. And so I dug into this, and basically what it says is this: humans are the power of God in action. In other words, our innate control over our thoughts and feelings, and getting a direction from our higher consciousness. This is when we realize our oneness with that higher consciousness. That, my friends, is power. When you have realized, when you have stepped into your oneness with the infinite power of God that resides within you and resides within every one of those folks that you agree or disagree with, when you step into that, you step into your power. When we start to speak power to truth, this is what we're talking about. Our innate control over our thoughts and feelings and getting our direction from our higher consciousness so that we are, in fact, the voice of God.
Amen.
We are that. Spiritual power is omnipresent. That just means that it's everywhere. Even when I'm not very good at being my divine self, the power of God resides within me. And so many people have been so good to me through the years to give me a little grace around that. When I'm off flying off somewhere, doing whatever, saying whatever. There are a lot of things that I've thought were truth in my life. And when I came back to my power of being the divine child of God that I am, and this is true for each of us, we've all had these moments, we start to step into our power. And with that understanding that truth is that which has been and ever will be, that which is eternal, and power is our innate control over our thoughts and feelings because we are coming from a higher consciousness, now we can see the importance of speaking that power to truth. Now you can see the significance. Now you can see Now you can know why it's so important that we start to infuse truth with our power. This is our work. Not just in this political environment. I'm talking, this is our work. This is always our work. Speak up, speak out. Speak up and speak out loud. And if it comes in the form of donating a bag of canned goods for the Flagstaff Family Food Center, then that's your voice that day. If it comes in the form of helping somebody deliver their ballot to their voting site, that's your form of power that day. That's your way of speaking up and speaking out. Now you're speaking power into the truth that everyone is equal, all humankind is equal, and they deserve to be treated accordingly. This is how we speak power into truth. This is when our truth becomes activated. This is when we start to be who God has invited us into. Because until we claim our power, we're just talking about it. We're just talking about it. Power is when we step in. And I don't mean force. The power of knowing that the God expression is moving through you. And where else would you want to put that kind of strength but toward the truth? What better place? This song that Matt's going to perform, it was my honor. It was my honor to get to be in this process. And I'm going to just say it out loud. This song was written by Matt, and I just kind of was probably an irritant that moved him along. But I will say it out loud. It was driven by an amazing example of speaking power to truth, and that was Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was the perfect example of somebody that walked through hardship and took a lot of hits in order to continue to speak truth and in order to speak her power into truth. This is not a political statement. This is an amazing human being that if you want an example, take a look at her life. I don't care where you sit on election day. I don't care. The point is, look for the folks in this world that truly speak power into truth. Look for them. And as it says in this song, just like any other girl. Really? Just like any other girl? Just like any other girl, or just like any one of us? That's what this is about. Speak power to truth. And as I've been reminding you each week, the world needs you. The world needs you to speak power into truth. We will heal the ills of our souls, of our land, of our practices. We will heal it when we speak our power into truth. I thank you because you are powerful, amazing individuals. We got this. We got this. God is here. We are the expression of that. And just like any other girl, just like any other boy, just like any other whatever gender you choose, you are that power. And truth is yours to speak into. Shout it out and shout it out. Speak it out. Shout it out. Show up. Thank you. Namaste.
this song actually was written by myself and Reverend Penny. She's way too humble. And this is the third or fourth time we've gotten together to do this, and it's a magical thing when you collaborate with someone. And the ideas are not mine, they're not Penny's, they're from the universe, which is the weirdest thing. But as we sat down to talk about speaking power to the truth, we did. Ruth Bader Ginsburg came to mind immediately as the example that shines for all of us. So this is called RBG, Speak the Truth. Just like any other girl, injustice, the fabric of the world. There's a feeling she can't shake, a ceiling she must break. College is for boys, so off your brother goes. Demotion for you, as the child inside you grows. And despite your perfect grades, rejection's all they need. The truth they can't take away. Speaking power to the truth, till the truth becomes your power. It takes courage, it takes strength. There's no room here for cowards. So speak up, speak out, speak up, speak out loud. Speaking power to the truth, till the truth becomes your power. It's done to one of us, and justice is done to all of us. When will we ever see? It's up to you and me. When the oppressed, made less, put down, pushed around, the unseen, without a dream, living on the street. They're waiting and hoping for a light to come. They're waiting, waiting on a better day. Speaking power to the truth, till the truth becomes our power. It's no courage, it takes strength. There's no room here for cowards. So speak up, speak out, speak up, speak out loud. Speaking power to the truth, till the truth becomes our power. Speaking power to the truth, till the truth becomes our power. Everybody's got a story, a truth they hold inside. A compass pointing north, a truth they can't deny. So speak up, speak out, speak up, speak out loud. Speaking power to the truth, till the truth becomes our power. It takes courage, it takes strength. There's no room here for cowards. Speak up, speak out, speak up, speak out loud. Speaking power to the truth, till the truth becomes your power. Speak the power to the truth, till the truth becomes your power. Just like any other girl, or any one of us. Thank you.
And so now, isn't it easy to see how that was such an inspiration as I prepared for today's message? Thank you, Matt. And thank you for the experience of being a co-creator, as we always are, if we will just open ourselves to Spirit and allow ourselves to speak power to truth. Thank you. So now, please with me, won't you join in the prayer for protection? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us wherever we are. Wherever we are, God is. And all is swell. Namaste, my friends. www.unityofflagstaff.org. Check it out. Any questions, email the office at office@unityofflagstaff.org. Be well. Stay well. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. We're in this together. Namaste.